What up, FortWorth family? It's Big Boss Fable back with a video for the channel, man. I'm actually doing a reaction to Law and Crime Network. Doing a reaction to 6 disturbing details of XXXTentacion's murder revealed during trial. So the 3 men accused of killing XXX, real name Jose Onfroy, during an armed robbery in May 2018, faced trial for the murder in the Broward County artist's prosecutors in the Broward County artist's death. Prosecutors presented crucial evidence, including security footage of the shooting and a confession from the fourth accomplice. So, somebody's been talking. Out of those individuals that had robbed X, somebody been snitching. Supposedly, one of those individuals is trying to throw the other counterparts under the bus. So, let me know y'all's thoughts on this one. It's crazy that everything is just now, hitting the light, coming to light. This happened such a long time ago. RPX, long live X. One of the most versatile, if not controversial, if not was destined to be one of the greatest artists of this generation. You know what I'm saying? Dude was gonna be big. I'm telling you right now. If X was alive today, X would be the masses. You know what I'm saying? So RPX, definitely unfortunate what happened to him, man. A lot of great talent that we see just lost so early. So let me know y'all's thoughts on this one in the comment section below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit notification bell, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, FortWorthFabian, the road to 1 million subs, man. Let's get right into the video. Get right into the video.
At the conclusion of this evidence, you'll find that Dietrich Williams, Michael Boatwright, and Trayvon Newsom are guilty of first-degree murder and guilty of armed robbery in this case.
The trial of 3 men for the murder of rapper XXXTentacion is underway. We take a look at the top moments from the trial so far.
The top moments
I'm
from the
Antoinette
trial.
Levy, and welcome to Law and Crime Sidebar Podcast. Trayvon Newsom, Dedrick Williams, and Michael Boatwright are all on trial for the murder. A 4th man, Robert Allen, pleaded guilty and is testifying for the prosecution in this case. XXXTentacion, whose legal name is Jose Onfroy, had $50,000 in cash on him as he shopped for motorcycles in South Florida on June 18, 2018. A group of men ran to his vehicle, shot him, and stole his money.
My thing was, I would have peeled off. If I was X, I would have just left. Like in this situation, you see he's got the vehicle right here. He got some wiggle room. He got some room to get away. I would have just dipped. I would have hit, pedal to the metal, whatever that phrase is. I would have hit the gas. And if they want to spray the car, fine, man. Shoot at the car. Go ahead. But I don't know. I think maybe he probably would have got away with his life that day, so to speak. Who knows, bro? At the same time, they did mention that, like, when they was trying to rob X, that he wasn't really, giving in. He wasn't really trying to give up the money. He was kind of being very combative, which is a lot of people frowned upon that. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, like, if it's life or death, just give it up because material things can always be replaced. You're a multimillionaire. So that was a huge emphasis after he got murdered. Like, a lot of people was coming out and saying, man, nothing's worth your life. And honestly, bruh, it's kind of messed up how he died, too, because I think it was his manager who was sitting in the passenger side and just real coward of him, bruh. Like, he ran off. And I don't think they show it.
Shot him and stole his money. Now,
look. The passenger hops out, right? I think this is his manager. But he runs off just real coward-like. You know what I'm saying? If I had a real relationship with X, I don't know. If X was my boy, I'm not going to leave him. You know what I'm saying?
5 years later, this trial has begun.
Bruh, just run.
2018. A group of name is Jose Onfroy had $50,000 in cash on him as he shopped for motorcycles in South Florida on June 18, 2018.
This supposed to be your friend. I don't know. I just wouldn't leave my homeboy like that. I wouldn't leave any of my friends just left.
Money. Now, nearly 5 years later, this trial has begun.
I don't know if they shot at him, but
Prosecutor Pascal Achille gave a strong opening statement telling the jury they will see surveillance video that clearly shows Michael Boatwright shooting and killing XXXTentacion.
Stupid ass boy.
Game.
Not smart, Michael Boatwright. Not a smart move. That was not a smart move.
Jose is there, unarmed, in the driver's seat, surprised by the 2 gunmen in this case, you'll hear how they start struggling with him, punching him, and that both of the gunmen at one point are trying to get his property from him. They're able to wrestle away from him the satchel that had the $50,000 in cash. And without any provocation, without any type of weapons or anything being used by the victim, you'll hear how Michael Boatwright fires several times, killing the victim at close range. You'll also be able to see the surveillance that shows this.
With 3 men on trial, they have 3 separate defense attorneys, so each attorney gave his own opening statement. Michael Boatwright's attorney went first, and he claimed that Robert Allen, he's the man who pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and is testifying for the state, will lie to the jury when he gets up on the stand.
Robert Allen
They're saying he capping, though.
The only person that you will hear from that puts Michael Boatwright at Riva Motorsports on June 18th, 2018. And he has a whole host of reasons to lie. In law school, they teach us don't promise something, an opening statement, that you can't deliver on during the trial. Well, let me be very clear. If Robert Allen testifies in this case, he will lie. And we will prove that he is lying. Police ignored an extraordinary amount of evidence.
I don't even know what role did the 4th person play in the whole thing, though. That's what I'm confused on. What role did this dude, who I guess he said some type of plea deal, because he's talking on the stand, but I'm curious what type of role did he play? If they're saying it was 3 assailants, right, and then a 4th individual, but he's not on. Well, I think he may have been the getaway driver, maybe, but he's not caught on camera whatsoever.
That Michael was not the killer, was not involved in this case.
Dedrick Williams' attorney, Mauricio Padilla, was up next, and he claims that law enforcement dropped the ball and did not investigate this case properly. He touches on the fact that Broward County Police had their backs up against the wall because of the Parkland school shooting that happened just 4 months prior to the homicide. He then says how the same detective from the Parkland school shooting was handed XXX's case. He points out that that detective and other investigators cut corners because they wanted to wrap this case up as quickly as possible. Finally, Padilla goes on to say how law enforcement didn't look into the Grammy Award-winning rapper Drake.
My thing is, how is that his whole stance, bro? How is literally that your argument that Drake had something to do with it, and it's y'all's fault because y'all didn't take enough precaution to take a further look into Drake? What, bro? That's just wild to me. That is really, I think it's just a form of misleading. You know, they're really trying to take the case in a certain direction, maybe try to put the jury's gaze in a certain direction to try to mislead them, but it don't seem like that would work, though.
He said, if anybody kills me, it's Drake. And do you think that for one moment, here today, days after the event, he's killed by 2 masked men, right? He came out on social media and said, guys, before he does, if anybody kills me, it's Drake. Do you think in that time span that they went and they addressed him, they talked to him? No. Do you think sitting here today, years later, any detective has ever asked, Drake or anybody like that? No. They never did that. So you ask yourself, how could that be? If any of us is involved in, God forbid, in a murder, and you say, hey, it's so-and-so, you better believe so-and-so is going to get investigated. But in this case, they didn't do it. They didn't do it because it didn't comport with their version and their narrative. And as law enforcement, I think that they have the obligation to do so.
Finally, Trayvon Newsom's attorney gave his opening statement. He went last, and instead of pointing to evidence that will clear his client, he pointed to evidence and said what it will not show.
My opening statement and all opening statements are supposed to be about what the evidence will show. But in this case, I'm going to tell you what the evidence will not show. The evidence will not show that any firearm was ever recovered that could be matched or linked to Trayvon Newsom. The evidence will not show that any thing from a thorough search of his home where he lived with his father and his sister, including digging up his entire backyard because they heard the money was buried there, turned up anything that would link Trayvon Newsome to this terrible crime. The evidence will not show that Trayvon has ever made a statement of admission.
I be wondering sometimes, like, what is the fee, bro, for a lot of these attorneys to defend an individual you know who's incorrect, bro. You know he did wrong, bro. But the money speak, money talk, to the point where it doesn't really matter what you did, my boy. What are you willing to pay for me to defend you? You could tell Buddy's just reaching. There was no evidence found at the scene of the crime. Or not even that. There's no evidence found at the victim's home or the perpetrator's home. Bro, what is you talking about, bro? I mean, you got to come better than this, bro.
That would link him to this terrible crime, to any third party or anyone else for that matter.
Even the judge back there scratching his head like, bro, what is you talking about? Look at his face, bro. He said, dude, what is you saying right now? Watch.
To any
he said, oh my God.
Or anyone else for that matter.
What is he saying?
The evidence will show no DNA whatsoever found on the body of Mr. Onfroy or on that car.
There ain't got to be no DNA, bro. He did it. He guilty.
He goes around the car and gets actually into it. No DNA whatsoever linked to Trayvon Newsome. No fingerprints linked to Trayvon Newsome. No cell phone evidence places Trayvon Newsome anywhere near that scene of the crime that day.
At the time of the murder, XXX was shopping for those motorcycles with his uncle, his step-uncle, actually, Leonard Kerr. Kerr took the stand and explained he was able to...
That was his uncle, bro. That was his uncle. Wild. I would feel ashamed, bro. I mean, it's his step-uncle, but I would feel ashamed, bro. I'm ashamed, dog. I'm ashamed, brody. I'm ashamed. You did not really stand around, stick around. You had real cowardice. Cowardice. Nigga, like, what did you run for? Why is you running, bro?
To run away from the car when the shooters drew. Kerr took this.
I wouldn't run. I just couldn't. I just wouldn't be able to, bro. I just wouldn't be able to run and just leave him like that. That's just me personally.
Stand and explained he was able to run away from the car when the shooters drew their guns on him and XXX. He's on surveillance video running away from the shooting. Kerr explained what he saw and heard minutes later.
Now, at the point that you're calling Cleo, had anything else happened other than you exited the car for your life?
I run and they were down there. The two men that could jump out the car was down there.
So you left Jose in the car and the two gunmen were still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see anything that happened to Jose, between Jose and the gunman after that?
Okay. Before, when I run up there, I'm in the bike. Taller guy, as I tell you, the taller guy went to run to Jose's side. The shorter one now come around to the door that I was, my door that I opened, and he go inside the car.
You saw that?
I see that because I was looking, when I run up there and saw some the man that was on the phone. I keep looking down there. When I keep looking, I realize that the shorter one come around to my side. The taller one go to Jose's side.
Okay, so it's almost like, I'm sorry?
And then I heard something like, fire! How much time I don't know, but I heard something like explode.
An explosion?
Yeah.
Let's go back to Robert Allen.
He was getting shot, bro. That's a tough one to live with. That's a tough one to live with.
He's the man I just told you about.
Want to join the six-figure club? Google and other tech companies are hiring hundreds of thousands of workers.
Who pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and is testifying for the state. On Wednesday, Allen took the stand and claimed that he and the three defendants robbed and killed XXX in the parking lot of the motorcycle dealership. He explained what happened over those 3 short minutes.
Trayvon Newsome do after he grabs the bag?
As he grabbed the bag, shots were fired.
Judge, I'm gonna ask him to speak into the microphone.
Yeah, nigga, speak it to the mic. We can't hear you, bruh.
Shots are fired.
Use your chest.
I'm gonna ask him to speak into the microphone.
As he's grabbing the bag, shots are fired.
Who shoots the shots that are fired?
Michael Boatwright.
Boy is snitching. Dude is singing like a Tweety bird. The boy is singing on the stand. He's telling it all. Damn. Bro, I wonder, like, what did they offer, buddy? Like, what is the deal? What did they put on the table for homie? Because why is he telling? I'm trying to figure out why is he telling, bro. The deal gotta be sweet. Because, think about it, bro. I'm gonna ask you, would you snitch? Would you rather snitch or, I guess, snitch, be released, maybe do a shorter stint, come out on the streets. People know you snitched. So at that point, your life will continuously be in danger. More than likely. Or you don't snitch and you do the time, right?
And who does he shoot?
Triple X.
Where does he shoot him from? What side of the car?
Driver.
So if Triple X is in the driver's seat and Michael Boatwright is in the driver's side, the shots are coming onto Triple X's left side or right side? Which side?
Left side.
Okay. And what happens, how many times do you recall that Michael Boatwright shoots Triple X?
Maybe like 2 or 3 times.
What does Triple X do as a result of that?
See.
What does Michael Boatwright do next?
Get back in the car.
What does Trayvon Newsom do?
Comes like slips and fall a little bit and runs the car.
What does Dietrich Williams do? Now, are all four of you back in the Dodge journey?
Yes.
What does Dietrich Williams do?
He drives off.
So Allen claims that Newsom grabbed the bag of money, Boatwright shot XXX, and Williams was the getaway driver as Allen was sitting in the car. The prosecution went on to show surveillance footage of the murder. So were the gunmen Newsom, Boatwright, and Williams, and will they be convicted for the murder of XXXTentacion? That is the question here, so stay tuned to Sidebar to find out as we continue to cover this case.
They need to
And
be
that's it for
convicted,
this
bro.
edition.
I mean, at this point in time, like, come on, bro. The evidence already add up. They did it. They guilty, bro. What are you talking about? Do they need to be convicted, bro? Been what, 3 years since we lost X? That shit is, I said 3 years. Nigga, it's been 5 years, bro. We lost X in 2018. That's crazy. It's been a long time since we lost X, man. RP X, long live X, man. Yeah, hopefully, you know, justice is served in this situation, this scenario, bro. We lost X. We lost a great artist, but very unfortunate, man. Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comment section below, man. Like, comment, subscribe, hit notification bell, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, FortWorthFabian. It's the road to $1 million, man. Peace, love, prosperity. See you guys next time.